really geared for that. It also means that we can, so what I'm showing you here is actually a screen from the mobile device I have right next to me. So whenever we deploy a solution anywhere in the world, we connect the devices to our device management system called MobiControl, and this system allows us to log on to a device wherever it is and look at the screen, look at what's going on, provide assistance if that is needed, and we can push out our software. We've pretty much automated everything that relates to getting the devices configured. So you just connect them to the system. Everything else is managed by us and by this system, and that's just the basic foundation for having a stable solution that you don't have to manually install anything. And once everything is installed, we lock the device down so that the normal users cannot do anything else than just use what we give them access to, and that just keeps the system running every day. We even have a tablet version, so I have a tablet with me right next to it. But yeah, looking at it like this, you don't really see the difference. But if you had to scale it down, it would really be something like this. Tablets could be interesting if you want to stick them on a picking wagon, so you can mount it on whatever you use in your picking process. Maybe put on a ring scanner so you can scan while you still have both hands free if that is necessary. Android just opens up for a lot of interesting hardware solutions that we couldn't do before when the platform was more closed in the Windows system. So yeah.
What kind of tablet devices do some of your clients use now?
Well, we try to focus on the rugged hardware that's really designed to be used in the warehouse, and that you can drop it and it doesn't, then the battery will last for a full work shift. So the two core brands that we deal with is Zebra and Honeywell. They used to be called Motorola and Intermec. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but there's a lot of consolidation in that industry. But having said that, we are actually testing a kind of just a consumer grade tablet and a consumer grade ring scanner. That the price for this system is just silly. But we're testing it out. I'm crossing my fingers. Hopefully we can, it'll be stable as well. That's where I have my concerns. But we're testing out a hardware solution where the hardware cost is below $300 for the full setup, and that's just unheard of. But it's those kind of things that we can do with an Android platform that's just super interesting. But at the end of the day, what we're selling here is stability. And I still have the feeling, if you need to spend too much time on hardware problems and you need to stand still in your warehouse, then you're losing money, and the money you save on buying a cheap device can be expensive in the long run. So but just to let you know, we are open for new devices, but if it isn't stable, and we won't put our name on it. But it's interesting. I would rather that that our customers spend some more on good software and get some cheaper hardware. All right. Anything else you want to ask about our company? Just kind of the basics. So I hope we can get a dialogue going here. So when I show you some of the features, you'll ask questions relating to what you experience in your warehouse, and we can try to take it from there. I haven't planned a very long demo. I want to focus on showing you the receiving process, because I know from our other web shop customers that returns are just part of dealing online. People buy 2-3 different sizes and return the ones that doesn't fit. So having an efficient way of getting items back is important, but also on the picking process. Typically, what we see from our other web shop customers is that picking order for order is very inefficient because every order will only be 1 or 2 items. So it doesn't really make sense just to go do a picking round for just 1 order. We want to consolidate it. I'll show you how we do that and how we do the shipping part as well. All right.
Cool. That sounds good. We currently are doing batch picks, so it's 10 to 12 orders at a time, sometimes more if it's single line items.
Okay.
So we have a pretty automated process at the moment. It works pretty well, actually.
Cool. What do you have for? What kind of picking wagon do you bring? Do you just do you put them?
Kind of a tall rack. We have totes, so we scan product, we scan totes, and each tote holds a single order. Depending on the type of pick flow, we have an instance where we can do like a super batch. So if it's 1 line item, if everyone orders, or there's multiple orders of 1 medium of a product, then we can ship all 15 or 20 orders from that 1 tote.
Okay. All right. Great. I think what I have to show you will be pretty similar. I think you'll recognize some of the things. But let's start by logging on to the system. So I have the ERP system running in the background. So I have. Can you see the text on the screen? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you're not familiar with Dynamics NAV. I'm not going to spend much time in here. Just want to show I've created an order in here where I expect to receive some items, and this is the order that I'll be working on the mobile device. Let's switch back. So we go into the. Well, let me just start by saying that when the user logs in, we determine which menu items that are available, or that makes sense to him. So you can configure what he should see when he logs in and the order in which these menu items are presented. So, this system is all about making it as easy as possible for the warehouse worker and getting rid of functionality that he doesn't need. It's just, it just helps out a lot to get away the clutter. So he only has to focus on on the tasks at hand. The system is multi-language, so you can log in with a user that uses English, and you can have another one that uses Chinese if you want. If you want that, we have I think 14 or 15 different languages you can use. And I can tell you, you can be the judge of how easy you think it is to use, but I can tell you in praxis, we've never done a training session where we sit people down and just say, okay, now this is how you do this and that. We get the system installed in a test system, let people play around with it, and it pretty much is self-explanatory. Once you get the hang of a couple of processes, you pretty much figure out what to do. This is one of the real strengths of our solution, that it is really, really easy to get started with. Let's go into the receive module. I have a list of orders, and these orders are directly from NAV. So once the order is created there, it's available in the mobile device. There's no synchronization that we need to wait for. Everything is in one system, and it's just super easy to super easy setup. Let me just find the order that I want to work on. In the background, I can see that it's number 21. So if I scroll down, I can see it's right here at the bottom. But in your case, you'll probably have a lot of orders here. So instead of having to open up a screen where you can type in a reference number, you simply scan one of the items you've received. So I'm just going to do a scan. You see, when I scanned this item, this item was actually present on 3 orders. So let me just try one more item. Okay, that was better. I found an item that was only on 1 order, and then this is something we can control, if it should automatically jump into the order or if it should wait and let the user decide. In this case, it jumped right into the order, and we are now ready to start receiving. Okay, so again, something super simple. You just scan to filter what you need. You don't need to type in anything. All right. So
what about the instance where it's a new product and the, say, barcode or alias SKU doesn't exist yet in the system?
Yeah, that's actually a super good example, because we have in the receiving process. Let me just step back one bit. We have a function here called item cross-reference. This is where you can put in an item number and then scan the barcode associated with it. Then you have that link. But we've actually, if I remember correctly, I think we've configured it into this into the receiving process. So let's say that I scan a barcode and it says there's no results. I can do a long tap here on my order line. Then I can access the add cross-reference function right from here, and now it'll actually use the value from the order line I selected. So it has already pre-populated the item number. And then I can just scan the barcode. Let me see. Let's see if I can find a barcode that I'm just gonna get this one. So I've added a cross-ref for that item, and now I can actually just go back to my order, and then I can start using it. So that's super
Great.
simple.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is something, you don't want to add all your barcodes this way, but this is good for exception handling and for, sometimes vendors change barcodes, and it's just a super easy way to detect the problem and fix it and start using that new barcode right away. All right. So let's start scanning. Hit the back button. Sorry about that. Let's go back into the order. So I can scan the items in any order. I don't have to follow the sorting on the screen. I just scan whatever I pick up first. So I'll scan. So I'm scanning the first one. It tells me this item just requires us to register the quantity. The solution also supports lot numbers and serial numbers. I'm not sure you're going to need that, but I have an example that kind of shows how that is handled as well. In this case, if 10 has arrived, I don't even have to touch the screen I can click the green button in the lower right corner, but I can also just scan the next item. I'm just scanning the next one, and this will confirm the 10 and then select the next order line and move on in the process. That means if everything arrives as expected, I can pretty much just do scan. Of course, look at the screen, confirm the quantity. Yeah. This next item.
Is there an opportunity at this point, say I'm scanning the carton, the carton has the barcode, but maybe the units on the inside didn't have a barcode? Is there a certain point where I could say, hey, I have this, but I actually need these 10 barcodes to print for me?
Well, we can configure the system to send in messages to the ERP system that it should trigger a print. So that we do that a lot typically in the receiving process, because if items arrive that doesn't have a barcode, the receiving process is the right place to fix it. It'll take a little bit longer to receive the items, but everywhere else where you need to touch this item or handle it, you can use the barcode to scan it, and it'll just be simpler for the following processes. So that's a good place to do the printing. Yeah, I normally recommend that if you have items coming in with no labels, then kind of do a process where you say, okay, first step, let's get labels on it. And then afterwards, you just have the standard receiving process where you scan the labels that you put on the items. And then the actual receiving process is super smooth. All right, here I have an item that uses expiration dates and lot numbers. And well, let me just show you. I have some barcodes here that I'm scanning in the background. I'm just scanning right off the screen, but I have a barcode here that contains multiple information. So it actually contains a lot number, it contains an expiration date and a quantity. So when I scan that barcode, our system automatically detects that. So it kind of skips over the expiration date, lot number, it puts in the quantity. Now I know I want to receive 20, so I just want to get those in right away. But it could be 2 of these. But we have built-in support for these. This is a very commonly used barcode in a warehousing environment. Standard called GS1, and it just allows you to bundle more information in one barcode, and our system fully understands that standard and can extract the information. All right, the next item I want to scan is a serial number tracked item. Just going to do this real quick. So it detects that I need to capture serial number, so I'll scan the first one. You can see the quantity in the background incrementing, and you just keep scanning until you've hit everything. All right. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. It looked like your screen froze though. We don't see anything anymore.
Yeah, it tells me I'm offline. I'm still, let's see if, please check your network. Okay, looks like I'm back. I'll just present my screen again. Maybe I need to be, can you make me present again, Rick?
Yeah, I'm trying to do that right now. Hold on.
All right, cool.
Do you have cross-docking capabilities? So one big piece of our business is pre-sales. So we'll put items on sale when we know we're going to receive them within 30 or 40 days from our manufacturer. So once they arrive, we'll have 100 to 1,000 orders depending on the time of year. So it'll arrive, and I'll need to turn it around really quickly, at least some portion of it, not necessarily the entire order.
Yeah. Well, Dynamics NAV has a cross-docking functionality in the product, and with our solution, okay,
so you should be presenter again here now. For some reason, it just I guess GoToMeeting had an issue momentarily. Sorry about that.
Yeah. See, you're still waiting to see my screen, right? I have enabled, clicked on share my screen.
And
let me just stop it and try again. It's not that hurricane passing through Florida that's giving us.
No, we had that last. It was still trailing rain yesterday, believe it or not. But okay, so it says you're a presenter.
Yeah.
And I see a blank screen. But,
I have clicked on the button, but yeah. Maybe should, yeah, I don't know if I, let me just stop the sharing again and start over. I think Amber dropped off.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. All right. Amber has dropped off, or is she?
Yeah, she dropped
we're
off.
still there.
Oh, you're still there. Okay. This is really a weird. I've never had this happen before, I got to say. But GoToMeeting works pretty well. This is an international meeting too. So, all right.
Can you still see my screen, Amber?
I can see your screen now. Can you guys see the screen? Hello? Oh, this is weird.
I think it looks like they dropped off, at least from the visual.
Huh.
Okay, she's back on.
Oh, good. All right. Hey, Amber, can you guys see the screen now?
Hey there.
Okay, good. Can you see? You can see the Tasklet screen now.
Yeah.
Honeywell. Okay, good deal. I'll let you guys get back. Sorry about the interruption here.
It's all good. Not you guys. The
All
meeting
right.
thing. So.
All right, so we were just where we are ready to finish the order on the mobile device. So I'll click yes to post it. I can put in a delivery note number if I have it. This is something we can turn off as well if it doesn't make sense. But otherwise, you post the order, it's gone, and now, well, depending on how you model the process in Dynamics NAV, you can either do receiving in one step where you receive directly into the warehouse. But I think in your scenario, just a second. Sorry, I just had someone drop in. But yeah, in your scenario where you want to do cross-docking, you want to do kind of a two-step process in your receiving, because once you've received the items, this is the process that you see now. Then they're just sitting on your inbound dock, and then something else will determine if you need to put it in the cross-dock zone or you need to put it directly into stock. So that's the next step. That's the put away process. And if we scroll down to the last one here, you can see the items that we just received. So we have our TF items and So let me just show you the put away process is very similar to the receive process. The only thing we need to add as well is scanning bin codes, so we tell where do we place this item. Let me just go through one. So I'll scan one of the items. Now it tells me so where you're placing this. I'll scan the barcode on the shelf and confirm the quantity, and then you repeat it for the others. I don't think this is, yeah.
Is there option that if this item is restocked, it can guide me where to put it? So if there's already product somewhere out there, it can say, hey, you've got this item in this location.
Yes, you can set up different rules on how, when you receive an item, where it should be put, if it should try to find an empty bin, or if it should be put together with where you have stock already, or maybe you have a set of fixed bins that you use for those items. That's standard NAV functionality that you can get the system to help. But with our solution on top of it, you can get advice on where you should put it, but you still have the option of kind of overriding it if it for some reason doesn't make sense anyway. And I know in the perfect world, the ERP system will know everything, and the users don't have to think. In the real world, not so much. You need some flexibility, and that's what we have in our solution. All right, let me just get this one line posted, and then we're off. It will tell me that you're not done yet. Yeah, I know that, but I'll just get this one line off the device. All right. So the next thing I want to, any more questions on receiving, putting away?
No, I think I've got at least a good basic understanding.
Yeah, and it's just, this is one way of configuring NAV to do the receiving process. You can do it. There's of course a lot of different ways you can set it up to kind of model the process that you have. The next thing I want to show you is how we do tote picking and shipping. And to do that, I will just quickly create some sales orders. So I will create 3 sales orders. So I want to create orders for 3 different customers. So you have to imagine that this could be your web shop, just pulling in orders, from end customers. I'm going to put in just one of these, and I'll get one of these as well, and get that released to the warehouse. Get a new one. So this is your web shop, just putting in orders. If you had them in directly in NAV, that would be super simple. So they would just. I'm just going to do it super quickly. Let's get 2 of these, because this is order number 2, and 2 here, and release it. And the last one, then we're done. So this is customer 62,000, and we'll get 3 of them, and 3 of them as well. All right, so I created 3 orders. They come in all day. We go into the warehouse module, go in and find a shipping document, and create a new one of those. The shipping document is something you can use to collect the sales orders that you want to work on. So I'll just pull them in. Okay, I just need to create it first. So I'll say this is the white warehouse. The bin code, this kind of corresponds to your, if you have multiple bay doors that you want to, where you want to place the items after you've picked them, you can set that up here. I'll just select the default one, and then I will get my 3 orders. So I have these 3 here. You can get a batch job that will run through this and pull in orders based on some criteria. I'm just going to do it manually, so you can see can recognize the orders that I put in. All right.
You're in the dynamic now, right now, right? Doing
yeah.
that.
Yes. So this is where you as a warehouse manager could work to plan orders, release it, and then create a pick. Say I want to sort it, of course, and say okay. So now I've created pick order number 23, but it is for 3 different customers, but it'll show up on the same pick order on the mobile device. So let me just go into the picking module and just scroll down, and here we have, I think it created pick order number 23. Let's go in and have a look. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So it sorted them. So I need to go to the same bin 3 times. That's how it is. So the process will. So now you need to imagine you have your picking wagon with, in this case, 3 totes on it. Every tote will have a barcode that you can scan, and and then you pretty much just start by scanning the first item. You scan the bin where you are taking the item, and then you scan the tote. And in the beginning, we do not assign totes to orders beforehand. We simply let the data decide. So if I want to put, I'm just going to put the first order here in tote number 1. So I scanned my tote 1. And now we've created a link between customer 60,000 and tote number 1. So the next time I get to that, a line relating to that customer, it'll suggest where I put it. But for the first run, I just simply scan my item, scan my totes, and continue. Let me just get.
Sorry, Peter, I'm going to backtrack just a little bit. You were in Dynamics Nav creating what I currently call fulfillment manually, just for the sake of showing us, or is this something that pickers can be out and orders are pulling in automatically and properly?
This can be fully automated. Yes. Okay. But step 1 is kind of figuring out how it, what makes sense to how you want to group your orders, and then the machine tech can do some automation that will help you.
We can say, identify when we want priority orders to come through, and like items or similar locations and so forth. Yeah,
you can. Okay. Yeah, the logic of how you create the orders, is something that NAV handles. And when you get to the point where it's on the mobile device, it's just the execution and making sure that you do what you've planned in NAV. All right, but all right. So did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Good. All right, so I'll scan the next item. I'll scan the bin where I'm picking that from. And now it already knows that, okay, for this order, I put the other item in tote number 1. Yeah, so I'm gonna put that in tote 1 as well. So as you can see, the picking process will be a little more difficult than just a normal pick, because you need to scan the tote every time, but you're actually doing picking and sorting in the same process. And the real benefit is when you need to ship it, because you can pretty much just take these totes, put them in the shipping area, and then someone else with another mobile device will use the tote shipping function and just scan them off, and they are sent out. Let me just go through. I'll scan next item, same bin, tote number 2, and
yeah, this is very similar workflow to what we currently have. So it makes sense completely. Do you have, kind of jumping gears here, performance metrics around this stuff? Can I pull picking rates by user, like what they've done within an hour or a day, or by line, by order?
It's not part of our standard solution, but we have all the data needed to do those reports. But we see that, you know, a lot of companies use all sorts of different BI systems to do their reporting.
Okay. So I can have access to pull the data from.
Yeah, we have data about, you know, who's doing what. Every time we do a registration on the mobile device, we capture the time that it was scanned. So we can, in theory, you can plot in the route that they, because you know the bin they scanned and you know the time so you know where they are and when they scanned, and we synchronize the clock on the devices with a central server, so we know we can trust the timestamps as well. So it's you can build everything you want. We, you know, one of our biggest web shop customers is an Australian company. I think I was just checking it. They have 185 mobile devices at the moment that they use 22 hours out of the day.
Holy cow. And what client is that?
I'm sorry?
What client is that?
It's let me just show you their website. It's a company called The Iconic. They are huge, but what I think is really, really cool, and we love to be part of that, if you check out their delivery time, they can deliver within 3 hours if you live in the Sydney area. And I think the last time I spoke with them, it gives them about 6 or 7 minutes, you know, from the order arrives until it needs to leave the building. So they are just hammering away on our system, and you know but great. This is a great client. This is where we want to get you guys as well. I don't know how many mobile devices do you use today?
Right now, it's set up so picking and receiving is all on a mobile device. The packing and shipping is all at a stationary, you know, kind of laptop focus. But I only have maybe 3 running at a time this time of year. Okay. When it comes to Q4 or busy season, I'll have about 20.
All right. Yeah. Cool. All right. Let me show you so the picking part is, well, that's a lot of scanning, not really a super interesting demo, but it collected the information that I needed. So when I go back here to this is my shipping document, I'll just hit refresh. Now I can actually see which items are put into which totes. But the good thing is the person in the warehouse, they never see these documents. They don't need to open up the NAV client in order to do their business. They will go into the screen called tote shipping, and this is typically another person, another mobile device that you do this on. So the pickers are just picking wagons, and then delivering totes to the shipping area. And then when you scan a tote, just do that. So scan tote 1. First, it'll do a check to see, do I need to ship anything else with this tote? So this could be the situation where you have an order that cannot fit into one tote. And so the user will just pick up another tote and say, okay, now I start putting items in this one. And in the shipping process, this will be detected and kind of guide the user to scan multiple totes if necessary. Here it just tells me this is the only one. Next step is scanning an external document number. This is NAV terminology, but this is really kind of the track and trace number from the shipping carrier. So at this point, the user would do packaging and book a shipment, get this package picked up. So this is if you do it manually. This is where we do many integrations where we look at the shipping system you have. Typically, you need to collect some information about maybe weight, number of boxes or totes that you're shipping. Anything, we can get the mobile device to capture the data needed by your shipping system. And that means instead of asking for an external document number, let's just say, put in a weight, put in a volume, and then click OK. And then the next thing that happens is that the printer will start spitting out the paperwork. You put it in the tote, close it up, and out the door. This is where we want you to go, and this is where you need to be if you really want to work efficiently.
Sure. So the tote has been picked, and there's an order in this tote, and then I'm going to kind of just make sure I understand. We can scan the tote. It'll bring up the order. And then how do I capture the weight and box dimension?
This is where, I don't think we don't have time to go into the details of our solution, but we have the mobile client that we've built is super easy to customize. So if you need to capture anything else than that is, than exists in standard NAV, it's super easy to get it to capture, for example, a step for weight and for volume. I can do that in 10 minutes to get that data captured. Then we just pass it on. But this is kind of where, a boundary between this is what we can do with standard NAV, but if you have a shipping system connected to NAV, let's just, tie these two together and get a really smooth process.
So the shipping integrator would be something separate, the system that would be my print stations and capture all of my carrier information.
In theory, you could skip your laptops and just have a printer and a mobile device if we do the integration correctly. At least that's what when you're shipping orders of the same, if you have similar size totes, you can kind of set up some values that will work. But in many cases in shipping, at least when it's bigger orders, you need to have a little bit of more control over the process.
This is Greg here. With Dynamics NAV, there are several add-ons available that connect directly to FedEx, for example. I don't know if you ship FedEx or UPS, but some of them support both FedEx and UPS, and there are usually shipping stations in the warehouse that are set up with a computer and a scale and a label printer, and depending on your process, let's just take our most recent example. when the tote comes to the shipping station, the shipping guys, they prepare a box, and they scan the product into the box one more time to make sure that that the quantity in the box matches what's supposed to be on the order. This gives a second check for that order to make sure that it's absolutely correct. And at that point, when they are completed packing everything into the shipping carton, they press a button, and computer retrieves the weight from the already packed shipping carton, sealed and everything, and prints a FedEx label, and then they go on to the next tote and the next shipping carton.
Okay, thank you. That was helpful. So we use all carriers, and we only have a couple minutes here left. We use DHL, we use Postal. We have a lot of different sized cartons that go out, so it makes more sense financially for us to kind of spread out the carrier options at this moment in time. Is that going to be an issue to,
No.
if we use 4 different carriers depending on the package?
No, in that case, if you use all the different carriers and you have sort of a rate shop requirement, then I would recommend a particular solution that is capable of handling this requirement. And you can do freight, you can do USPS, you can do UPS, you can do FedEx, and you can even do your own carrier in it. If you're like Amazon or something, you have your own carrier. So
okay, not quite there yet. Almost, maybe one day.
Almost, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Well, I think we've at least got a good base introduction to the options here. It sounds very customizable to our workflows.
It is, and that's one of the good things with adding our mobile solution on top of NAV. You can really customize the workflow on the device and kind of trigger some automations in the ERP system without having to change the ERP system so much so you cannot upgrade it the next time. Yeah, it's just a solution with a lot of flexibility built into it. I hope I get to show you a little bit deeper at some point where, if you start implementing the solution, there'll be a lot of things where you say, can we do this and that? And the chances are that we've heard that request or something similar before, and it's just kind of a tick mark that we set to say, okay, now it behaves like that. Because we have the sum of all 400 customers into this one application. There's just one. It's the same app running everywhere. Everyone just has a different configuration file, and that's why it's adaptable to their specific business. Yeah. Okay.
Well, so I have a list here of kind of some of the things that I'm researching and really focused on for the WMS I'm looking for. Maybe I can send this over and you guys could take a look at it and we can kind of guide the next round. There's definitely some things that I want to dive deeper into and that stood out to me here in your system. So if I send you this list, maybe you could look at it. We can kind of focus on some of those things a little bit deeper for another discussion. Is that a good option? Or
no, thanks, Amber. This is Rick. Yeah, that's great. And We appreciate Peter today showing us this. What you're seeing are bits and pieces of a very dynamic system that you can pretty much do whatever you want with. And one piece that we didn't talk about is, really how is your product matrix set up, and how do you really want to see it? What's the relationship and sizes and colors and things? It's great application for all of those things. So NAV or LS NAV handles all of that. We just plug in some automations on different parts. So one you saw today is a very, very special piece that Peter's company has designed to go with this, and it's very functional, as you see, and it's in some large applications that have speed and desirability. And that, I think that's the big thing today, is being able to do all the user interfaces just what they need. Only see what they need and only use what they need, and you control all of that in your end. You won't have somebody else controlling it. You'll be controlling it, because we will make sure you understand how to use it all and how to set it up and how to add and change, and we'll be there behind you. So that's the difference in this. This is a NAV, LS NAV, and NAV is the largest selling ERP system worldwide. And as you imagine, worldwide we get a lot of input. So here's their solution working in some very large companies. We have a number of them under our belt as well, working with them, and so we have very good background in that, as well as e-commerce and other things that you might need. So it's a broad solution, but we'll be there to help you, and I think very scalable for you. You can start out with one piece and simply add on. And this will be the master.
Awesome. That's very helpful, Rick. I definitely saw a few things that stood out to me, so I would like to dive a little further. Maybe I can send you this list and we can reconnect
Sure.
another time.
That sounds good. Just give me your openings and I'll configure everybody as to meet what you need to do and see.
Okay, wondererful. I really appreciate your time today.
Yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate it too. All right. Have a good one, guys.
All right.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.